that submission is about order, not value. And for some reason, value ends up being placed before the order, because when God has order, it's for functional purposes in a way that he can be glorified. But what I've noticed in the cultural component of marriage, because it is cultural, because just like all the way back in the Old Testament with Rebecca, she got a nose ring. Going up into today's time, that's not like a cultural norm to get a nose ring and a bride price in certain marriages. In certain cultures, yeah, for sure. But what I'm essentially trying to say is that there are cultural norms that shift in partnership in that union, and it's not necessarily biblical law as much as it was something that was just existing in how people were joined together. And so the Lord was showing me that value is placed before order. And so submission becomes something very toxic. And I'm not speaking from the place of feminism. This is more so for people who have a healthy acceptance for submission because they understand it's for order and they're submitted and surrendered to the Lord. So I'm not going into that. And I'm sorry if that is a heart posture you have as you're listening to this. This is more so of like understanding why God had it in the place of order, but also why abuse seeps into relationships and inadequacies. Because first and foremost, flesh is not perfect. Everybody's prone to wander and sin. And that's why we're called to repent and walk meek and humility before the Lord, so that, we can love and continuously be connected to our true vine and produce the right fruits that are well-pleasing, and God can be glorified in our unions and in all of the earth through not only our testimony, but also the discipleship that we end up experiencing, especially in marriage, because you have an accountability partner as the Lord is working to make you both in his image, but also bringing forth seed and blessings and promises and all that good stuff, right? So the Lord was teaching me that submission is about order, not value. But people place the value of their submission as like their order. And so what I mean by that is what I've seen in the dynamic of relationships, especially in marriage, is that if a man is not immediately given the validation or like the reassurance that this woman is submitting to him, he doesn't feel the need to value her. Unless she submits, then he will somehow turn on a light switch and be like, I'm valuing you now. You are worthy of my affection and my love. And that's wrong. And that's not actually even how God designed man to even treat woman in that way. And also I'm speaking in the realm of actually being married. Because another thing is, for some reason, when people are dating, they feel like a woman should automatically submit. But if she's not married, she belongs to the Lord. So she's not even spiritually, like in that way, supposed to submit to you, because that's idolatry. So I'm not speaking about a boyfriend or